After the Industrial Revolution, there started to be a decline in quality. So why would this be? Well, with the Industrial Revolution, we moved from farms to big cities and began to work in factories. Prior to that, when there was craft production, you would go to the person who was making your suit, and you could tell them exactly what you wanted, and they would tailor fit it to you. But with the Industrial Revolution, we now have mass production. So we're now producing large quantities of goods, and that relationship between the worker who is making the product and the customer is now much further removed. And when you separate the customer from the one who's doing the work, then the person doing the work no longer has that feedback from the customer in terms of what the customer wants and what the customer is looking for. So let's look at the area of quality management that has emerged since then. So we look at the definition of the word quality. We're looking at the ability of a good or service to consistently meet or exceed the expectation of customers. So it's what the customer is looking for from our product that determines its quality. When the idea of quality management first arose, the emphasis was on quality control. So quality control is our monitoring, testing, and correcting quality and the key here with quality control is that we are identifying issues after they occur. So after we find a defect, then we come up with a solution to correct it. Now, what we see in quality management is an emphasis on quality assurance. With quality assurance, the thing is that here we are preventing defects before they happen. So we're providing confidence that a product quality will be good by preventing the defects before they happen. So as we look at quality assurance, really the foundation of quality assurance, preventing defects before they happen, is total quality management, TQM. And TQM has three parts. First, we're going to focus on customer satisfaction. We define quality as the ability to meet or exceed customer expectations. So customer satisfaction has to be at the heart of any quality management. We have to know what customers want, and then we have to continually work to meet and exceed their expectations. The second thing we need to involve all levels of management and workers. So total quality management is about empowering your employees. Employees need the ability to stop the production line at any point if they see a problem. And that's not just management who has the ability to do that, but everyone at all levels of the company. So we're empowering the employees, everyone from the top exec to the night janitor. Everyone has the power to make change and improve quality. And then this is a continuous improvement process. So once you improve the quality and you make a couple changes, it doesn't stop there. It's a continual process. So it's never-ending improvement. To the key processes within our production. Okay. Now, when we talk about continuous improvement, there's actually a Japanese word called kaizen, and that means involving everyone in continuous improvement. In total quality management, this idea actually comes from the Japanese, which is why the field of quality management is peppered with Japanese terms like Kaizen. So let's look at an example of total quality management. So this article here about General Motors came out in 2015. And what happened is General Motors recalled 3,300 trucks and SUVs over ignition switch problems. Now, this wasn't a recall because of customer complaints. It wasn't that there were a bunch of trucks that were released and then customers were having problems. Instead, they were recalled because an employee found the defects. So it was actually internally an employee who identified the issue, and then the company as a whole recalled all of the trucks that had been sold thus far. So General Motors uses total quality management. They're involving everyone. All employees are empowered. The focus is on customer customer satisfaction, and it is a continuous improvement process. They're constantly upgrading their vehicles to have a better quality. And so this is just an example of how the employees at all levels have been empowered to make change and improve the quality of the product. And in this case, because of what one employee found, the entire corporation recalled vehicles worldwide. So let's look at total quality management and where it came from. Total quality management comes from a gentleman named William Edwards Deming. William Edwards Deming is called the father of quality management. Deming was a statistician from the US who went to work for Toyota. And it was his work with Toyota that made huge changes in the quality of their vehicles. The quality of the vehicles improved so much that in the 80s, it became quite a threat for North American-made vehicles like Ford and GM. So let's look at quality, how Deming looked at it. When Deming looked at quality, what he said is that if we focus solely on cost, so if it's all about cost cutting, then the problem is we're going to cut some fundamental parts of the process. So what's going to happen is that our quality is going to go down if we focus simply on cutting cost. And when quality goes down, that means we have to throw away more of our product. That means we have to recall more of it. So it's actually going to cost us a lot more because we're going to have less viable product. More of it has to be thrown away, it has to be remade and fixed, and that gets very expensive. So Deming says you shouldn't be focusing on cost because that'll just make costs go up. Instead, you need to focus on quality. If your quality goes up, then your costs will actually go down. Because if we can make a better product with less defects, then that's less materials we have to throw away. If there are less defects when they may reach the customer, then that's less warranty issues we have to cover. So if we focus on quality, it'll actually make the costs go down. So then the question is, well, how do you focus on quality? Well, as Deming looked at quality within an institution, he found that the cause of the poor quality is not the employees, but the system. So if we define quality as the result of our work efforts divided by our total cost, how do we improve that? How do we get better results? How do we get more bang for our buck in terms of our quality? Well, if you add inspectors, so let's say that you produce a product and then at the very end you have someone look over that product and identify the defective ones. Well, if you analyze the quality after the fact, then that's not actually going to lower any of our costs. So quality inspectors, they're not going to make any difference. And in fact, even if you had quality inspectors and they rewarded those who made a better product, then it wouldn't actually lead towards long-term improvement in quality. How you really improve quality is not with quality control, but with quality assurance. So we need to prevent the defects before they happen, and we can do that by designing a better system. So when Deming is looking at quality management, he's looking at how do you design your company to get better quality products. And so Deming actually created these 14 points that look at how you design your company to create that total quality management, that continuous improvement that focuses on customer satisfaction and empowers your employees. Your job is to go and find Deming's 14 points, either from the book or from online. So see what we would need within a company to set up a system that would create better quality.